Say it. Say it!
Hi everybody, and welcome to GamePunx bonus round.
Hello.
My name is Ryan.
And I'm Ben.
Are you?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Who's asking?
Me. So today we are doing a bit of a belated Valentine's Day episode.
Yeah,
we were supposed to do this a couple of weeks ago, but now we're recording it on St. Patrick's Day. So hey, scheduling be that way.
Which, you know what?
The fuck cares?
Thematically, it still makes sense for St. Patrick's Day because
it does.
It's a good time to talk about the subject matter, which you can already tell by the title, presumably.
Yeah, and I'm sure we're both mildly inebriated, so
Mildly.
it's the perfect Who's talking mildly?
I've been drinking
So I'm sure
since
we have
2 a.m.
Damn.
That's not true.
I was gonna say that's a long fucking time.
You're not slurring your words at all for someone who's been drinking for almost 20 hours.
Shocked you haven't died of alcohol poisoning. It's remarkable.
I know.
But
Strong liver
yeah,
on this one. It's my Irish heritage.
It's your Irish heritage. Hey, same here. Yeah, I guess without further ado, why don't we talk a little bit about some of our favorite waifus and husbandos and them bondos from Video's game, because there are plenty of very wonderful waifus, husbandos, and thems to lust after in Video's game. So why don't you start?
I'm going to start with the most obvious one. Everyone knows this is coming from both of us, actually. I think we've talked extensively about how much we like this person as a character, how blissfully written they are, and how their design is just peak horny bait, I guess.
Peak horny bait.
And that would obviously be Claptrap from the Borderlands series.
Who doesn't love that sexy trapezoid?
Yeah, with the beautiful, sultry voice.
Oh, how could we not say we love this lovely Claptrap?
No.
What's the real
first
fucking
one,
answer?
Yeah, the real first one, I was going to say, so we can get it out of the way, because we don't have much on her yet, is Giovanna from Guilty Gear Strive.
Yeah. There's much to say about this character.
Yeah, Guilty Gear made a King of Fighters
related to her design. Yes,
and
I think it's absolutely what they have done. Is they looked at KOF and they're like, what are some of the hottest KOF characters? Let's take a little bit of this.
Yeah, we put
a little bit of that.
We put Blue Mary
just a little
and
bit
King
of this
inside the Fly machine. The machine from the Fly. I forget what it's called because
like the teleporter.
Yeah, the teleporter. And they put the
and out comes Giovanna in all of her sexy glory.
With her green
what is there not to like about her design? Like
literally nothing. Everything,
she's perfect.
It's peak character design.
Yeah,
I did.
She's a kicker. She's a kicker. I'm into that. She can kick the shit out of me.
Very King from KOF.
Yeah, extremely. She's got glasses.
Yeah.
Now that was to me when I saw that she had glasses, and I'm like, now I know.
No. That's I know. I know has glasses.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Why did I think Giovanna had glasses?
There was a really good edit going around of Giovanna with glasses.
Oh, that must be why. I saw the edit.
Yeah, it's
been a while since I watched her reveal trailer, so
maybe
that's why I totally forgot. Well,
she's
at any rate,
straight edge and a what do you call it? The people who defend the president. Special forces.
Bodyguard?
Yeah, special forces, whatever.
Okay, well, she could fucking beat the shit out of me.
Yeah.
This is, I think, like, a common thread we will see amongst a lot of these characters, at least a lot of the fighting game characters.
One just came back into my mind.
Is that they could kick the fuck out of you. Please, lay it on us.
Oh, no, you go. You can take this one.
Well, I was gonna say, since we're on the subject of sexy fighting game characters and special forces characters, one of my all-time favorite character designs in anything is Leona from KOF.
Yes.
She first kind of came out of KOF 96, and she's like got lore that ties her back to like the Metal Slug games, which makes her like a very kind of cool deep cuts SNK like reference character.
Yeah, SNK
along with like her and Heidern
cool.
Are like all from this whole little mini like subset of the KOF characters that are kind of representative of the Metal Slug games.
Yeah.
But yeah, Leona's got a great design. She wears like the military grade boots and pants. And in like my favorite design of her, she's just kind of got like a black cutoff shirt with like the military camo pants and the huge fucking combat boots.
Yeah, well, like the crop
she
top
got her
bra thing.
Yeah, oh yeah, with like her blue hair tied up and a big ponytail.
Yeah.
I don't know, there's just something exceptionally horny about this design, but that's horny and expressly the way that I want it to be.
Yeah.
I think she has a cool design. She's also got a bunch of moves that are like references to... I mean, a lot of characters in KOF have moves that are references to like tokusatsu and martial arts. But hers in particular, like her rider kick that she does, that's exactly like the Kamen Rider Black
You should
rider
check
kick.
out
come on.
Get Into Fighting Games shit where Wooly goes like deep cut into like SNK lore to the point of like breaking down costumes in one of the King of Fighters, I think.
There's so many cool things about Leona.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that she's got some moves that are fucking JoJo references. She just looks awesome when she fights. Like, she looks sturdy, and her sprite is, I mean, like all sprites in SNK fighting games, just like beautifully detailed and animated, but you get a lot of personality from her. I don't know, she's just a total fucking badass, and every time I play an SNK fighter and Leona's in the roster, you can be fucking sure that I'm putting her in my match. Like, I either to fight against her or to play as her. I just love this character and I love her design. It's just like I described her right before we started recording as Cammy, but like made for me.
Yeah, Cammy, but not like a little overboard on some.
Yeah, I feel like not to say
wrong.
that Cammy doesn't have a fucking iconic design, but I don't know if this is just the kind of horny I am, but I'd much rather have like my like military / special forces aesthetic babe be like in military / special forces aesthetic gear and not in basically a fucking leotard with her coochie hanging out.
Yeah, I have
not that once again, not that I don't think that this is good, but also I prefer Leona's approach to the whole special forces fighter aesthetic, you know? Mm-hmm. She kind of dresses like Guile, basically.
Yeah.
She's got a similar outfit to Guile, and I'm like, I like how Guile dresses. It's simple. It's like a perfect like iconographic military like outfit. It's, you know, if I want a fucking bootlicker to beat the shit out of me, then it might as well be Leona.
Yeah. They should at least be like,
yeah. Should be worth it. Should be worth the thirst, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Have you got another fighting girl?
Or
fighting gentleman?
God, who? Terry Bogard is my husbando of the KOF universe.
We all love a good Terry.
Terry's the kind of date that would be like, oh, we're gonna go to the movies and get ice cream, and it's gonna be goofy, and he's gonna be dropping shit everywhere, and like clumsy. He's just such a fucking himbo.
He is, yeah. He is a total himbo.
He'll be like, he'll tell you the story about the time he pushed a man off of a building to avenge his dad, and you'll be like, cool.
It's very awkward, Terry. Stumbling over his
strong
fucking
sense
words
of justice.
And slurring them
Yeah,
because he's been hit in the
he
head too much.
Canonically stupid.
Oh,
are you okay?
I love him.
Burn knuckle.
Yeah, he's got such like lusciously designed man titties.
Yeah. Like, Iori too.
So good. Yeah, actually, the both of them.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, he's got the ponytail. I like a man with a ponytail. It's like one of my
his Garu.
This is my horrible weakness.
His Garu design.
Yeah.
Mark of the Wolves with the fucking like flight jacket, the pilot jet, whatever, the like leather fucking thing. Because he gives it's just
it's just like a forgive me God for I have simped character.
Yeah.
Straight up. Terry is a really good choice.
Terry
actually.
and Iori.
He's just
can't get enough.
they're both such fucking, like, there's something to be said about fighting game sexy men characters and how, like, you know, it's pretty, not to say that there's, like, not an abundance of sexy male characters in games, but I feel like sometimes in, like, especially in fighting games, they go out of the way to make some of the men, like, just a little too, I don't know, a little too kind of gruff and tumble, and I get that they're fighting games, but sometimes you want, like, you know, I don't love Beard Ryu, I'll be honest.
What? Hot Ryu is the best. You're a coward.
I'm sorry, I prefer Stubble Ryu.
No.
Stubbly Ryu.
Hobo Ryu for life. He's the
you know,
you
think at, like, Street Fighter, and it's nice that they have, like, a good variety of male designs. So, like, some of my favorite male characters in Street Fighter is, like, first of all, come on, Zangief.
Zangief is...
Zangief.
Did you know that Zangief
is the big sexy?
Technically, canonically gay?
I did not know this. Please elaborate.
Oh, God. Is it Street Fighter 2? It was, like, a couple of joke things that I think, like, they were just homophobic jokes for the time. But it just kind of... Yeah, it just kind of cemented that Zangief was gay, where, like, he has a poster of Vega or something in one of his, like, windscreens or something. I can't remember what it is.
Can't blame him. Vega's also pretty hot. He wears a mask.
I don't like Vega, but...
I like Vega because he wears a mask. I know he's, like, an evil fucking rat bastard, man. But I also... I gotta say, the mask, it works for him, man. And he has a claw. Kind of like a claw. I'm sure you, as fucking screen name Scratch Me Silly, can appreciate a claw.
Yeah, but Scratch Me Silly is because I'm a cat boy. Okay, yeah, so...
You saying cat boys can't like claws?
Well, I guess not. Yeah, so there's a windscreen where Zangief is muscle flexing in the mirror, and he has a picture of Vega right next to him. I'll send it to you real quick.
So he's, you know...
Yeah, I think it was supposed to be gay jokes, but then they fucked up and didn't realize that the gays
This just makes
like,
him 8 billion times more horny.
Good. Be more homophobic. Here,
Holy shit.
I sent it to you.
Gotta love when homophobia and transphobia backfires and you just make a character who is the big sexy. Yeah, he's hot.
Speaking of the big sexy, Poison, am I right?
Yeah. Once again, just, like, completely and utterly designed with the intention of her kind of being a transphobic stereotype. Like, oh, look, she's a sex worker and she's, like,
and then,
you know, they're writing shit in, like, the character Bible, like, haha, new half.
Yeah,
like,
and then them backpedaling and being like, oh, it was a mistranslation?
Mistranslation. She is womb man with a Y. Like,
yeah.
No... Bitch, come on. She is the most trans-looking fucking
she is
character
woman,
ever.
But it's spelled...
And she's beautiful.
No, it's spelled womb.
Womb
end.
Womb end. Oh, God. Woman.
Yes.
But she is wonderful. There's something to be said about, like, you know, queer characters being depicted as evil or queerness being, you know, represented in a way that makes the queer character look evil and their queerness is coded as evil. But also... sometimes we like an evil bitch. Sometimes we just, and it doesn't matter if she's trans or not. She's hot.
You know what? Hold on. When did Poison first debut? It was in Final Fight.
She was in Final Fight.
Final Fight. So Poison first debuted in 1989. If you were a trans woman in 1989, you'd be evil too.
Yeah, of course.
You weren't treated well.
If you were a trans woman now, I wouldn't blame you if you're fucking evil.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, no, sometimes you just gotta be a girl boss building your empire.
Yeah, you gotta Cruella de Vil.
Sometimes that involves beating the living fuck out of shirtless mayors.
Yep.
And that's all cool because, Poison is the big sexy, and I love her. Everything about her design is great. And when they finally added her to Street Fighter... it was like a wet dream come true for everybody.
Yeah, too bad about that playstyle.
There are like completely heterosexual, even like probably very transphobic men who definitely lust after.
Oh, they super do, but they just
fully acknowledging that she's trans in their heads.
No.
But telling people outwardly, no, bro, she's a cis woman, bro.
Yeah, no, they're like, it's just a mistranslation. I've had this conversation like a billion times on a bunch of fucking fighting game shitposting sites, and I'm like, you know, you can shitpost without being a fucking like transphobe, right?
And you know that, you know, sometimes if your dick is horny for something, it's okay.
Yeah.
Just accept it. It's fine. Yeah. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter that you were attracted to a trans woman in your mouth.
Yeah, fucking cowards, honestly. I guess we should move away from the fighting game women and men because there's a lot of them and we can be horny about them for hours.
Yeah, we'll have a fighting game specific waifu husbando.
Yeah. I'm sure there's plenty of them. Let's flip over to the JRPGs.
Yeah, good. Because that's exactly where I wanted to go. Ichiban Kasuga is number one Hambo husbando to ever live. I've never been more willing to marry a fictional character.
Yakuza in general is full of like husbando characters, like just prevalently.
Yes, but like, especially even, like, Ichiban.
Ichiban, in particular, there's something about his brand of nerdy himbosity that I don't know.
Because he's like a super swole bro who would totally go to the gym and like drink protein shakes and like be kind of douchey, but like in a not shitty way.
And he'd also like rather play Dragon Quest 3 than flex on a motherfucker.
Yeah.
And
actually,
I can relate.
It's not true because he flexes on a motherfucker by acting like he's playing Dragon Quest 3 and taking turn-based combat. Like he literally says that at the beginning of the game.
That's true.
His friend is like, "Why do you let them hit you? You could murder them like no problem. You are a god." And he's like, "Oh, I want it to be like Dragon Quest, man.
I want to be like Dragon Quest."
And he's like, "What if you get shot?" And he's like, "I won't. Dragon Quest." And you're like, what?
I like that, like, in the modern, like, you know, obviously in real life, the Yakuza have, like, degenerated pretty thoroughly, and there's, like, a bunch of anti-Yakuza laws that have made it so that, like, the Yakuza in general and other crime organizations in Japan have to stoop pretty low in order to just make ends meet, because they're basically ostracized from society. Yeah. But there was a time in which the Yakuza did serve kind of a legitimate purpose and were like the lesser evil that kept the worse evils at bay.
They were the watchmen who watched the watchmen.
Yeah, basically. And now it's pretty sad to see the state that they've become. But like Kasuga, this motherfucker here, he represents like him and Kiryu, both of them husband them up immediately, like marriageable men. But and both of them are also like motherfuckers who, despite being in proximity to it a lot, don't know what sex is, and that's very funny.
It's
like the two of them seem, not that they seem terminally asexual, but
just completely oblivious to
exactly oblivious in a charming way,
just
like they're just devoid of horny, and I appreciate that.
Dante kind of falls into that. Leon too from Resident Evil.
Yeah, the both of them are just like women respecter 5000s too.
Yeah,
like their views on women and the way they treat women are certainly better than some of like their peers depicted within the series. Like they're kind-hearted, like criminals with the heart of gold.
Yeah,
and there's something about that archetype that's attractive. Also, though, in the same fucking series, you have Goro Majima, who is the big sexy, but because he's an evil rat man who's been jokerized. And
well, I mean,
there's something kind of sexy about that too.
Yeah, the thing about Majima is he's like he's evil, but he's hot, so he's like morally gray.
He's sexy in a rat evil kind of way, is exactly how he is. Like he's a sexy rat man.
Jared Leto could take notes.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Jared, firstly, he could stop running a cult.
That would be a good first step.
Yeah, no, Majima is like I said, he's like a total like rat man who's been completely jokerized by his shitty life. But at this end, literally in the first Yakuza dub, because he's played by Mark Campbell. He's literally
Did you
played
see
by
the
Mark
thing
Campbell.
Where someone interviewed Mark Campbell about that, and he was like, "Do you remember doing this Yakuza game like 5 years ago or whatever?" And Mark Campbell's like, "What? What are you talking about?
That's so funny."
Yeah.
And he puts in a pretty good performance too. He doesn't just do Joker, which is pretty It's pretty interesting. It's kind of sad that they couldn't get him back for Like a Dragon, but they get Matt Mercer, which is cool.
Yeah, well, that paycheck that they wanted for Like a Dragon was probably too much for the amount of
And Mercer does a very good job with him, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, Majima, like, once again, just the evil sexy rat man. He's like completely 100% yonkerized, but also very hot.
Oh my god.
He wears like gaudy ass clothes. He's got that fucking eye patch. The fact that he's like kind of a former like guys just want to have fun party boy who got like the living fuck like beaten out of him by life and now is just like he I am evil is very wonderful.
Yeah.
I don't know. He almost makes me see what people find attractive about like the Joker. I don't find the Joker hot. I find him kind of fucked up. I find him fun, like he's a fun character when played right. But I don't find him attractive. But I look at Majima, and I'm like,
well, it's because Majima.
I kind of get it actually.
I mean, Majima, if you go through Zero and stuff, you get his character arc, and
exactly. I mean, the part of the appeal of the Joker is he doesn't have one, so. Mm-hmm. He just, for all your knowledge, is presumably
despite
just
them trying to drastically give him one, like
frequently. Although even in the most famous story where they do that at the end, he's just like, yeah, that wasn't even really true.
Yeah,
like,
I lied.
It was just bullshit.
I lied. It was my joke.
It's my Joker's
trick. I lied about
trick.
my trauma.
Majima's trick.
Well,
Majima is
right?
the big sexy.
The Majima everywhere system. That's real.
I mean, that's a lot of people's wet dream right there.
The Majima everywhere system.
There's just something about the way Majima dresses, the way he carries himself, where it's just like, you sexy bastard man, I find you very hot.
Oh, look at him. He's doing evil again.
Please curb stomp me immediately.
He would.
Like, he's a hot man.
Kiryu's never
this
killed
evil hot
a
man. I love him.
Kiryu's never
He's
killed
like one of the few
but
evil
Majima,
men who I find genuinely very attractive in fiction.
Majima goes in.
Yeah, so Majima's good. One that I immediately had in mind as just like ultimate JRPG husbando for me is Sylvando in Dragon Quest XI, which I know I have extensively raved about this very sexy man, but there's something to be said about him just like his whole character arc literally being built around his queerness, and Dragon Quest, a series which has like infamously been associated with a composer who is openly homophobic, like
and wasn't he? Isn't he like a Holocaust denier too?
He's like a Japanese war crimes in China and Korea denier, which pretty much is the equivalent of being a fucking Holocaust denier. So he's a scumbag, and he's used his money and position as like a popular composer for TV and film and games to like lobby against like LGBT rights in Japan and shit. So yeah, Koichi Sugiyama is the big suck, but the fact that like Dragon Quest and like Yuji Horii wanted to have like this kind of story arc in their game, like it's really obvious that it's a queer story arc. But yeah, Sylvando's whole thing is that he is kind of like a Portuguese clown man. Like he's like a circus performer who's an acrobat, and he has swords, and he's good with knives and whips and all of like these cool kind of like acrobat type weapons and stuff like that.
Yeah. And
he does like magic where, he'll blow fire or whatever, or he'll blow like poison smoke, and he does that thing where that really gay thing where he flips his hand out and goes like and blows it off his hand,
Yeah.
But he's just like, he's a very very femme flamboyant character, but he's never presented as weak within the narrative. His only weakness is his inability to come clean to his father about his choices, because he's super, super afraid of his father being disappointed in him, because his father always wanted him to be a knight and trained him his whole childhood to be a knight, but he ran away from home and decided that he wanted to be a circus performer because what he loves to do is make people smile. And like a lot of the stuff in the game is like him like just consoling the other characters and being a really good like party mom, like just a great like mom character to all these characters, being there for them when they need him. When like the team is fractured midway through the game, I won't say why, he in the Switch port, the expanded edition of the game, gets an entire chapter dedicated to him, kind of a la Chapters of the Chosen, the fourth Dragon Quest game, where like all the side characters get a full chapter before you get into the main game. he gets a chapter where he basically he winds up alone, but goes around the world collecting friends that he makes along the way because he's so good at making friends and like turning enemies into friends and stuff and making them join this little procession of like, he calls them like the knights who want to make people smile, and they just go around like performing like feats of daring heroism for people, saving them from monsters, and like bringing joy to a world that has lost so much up to that point in the game. Like just making people who have not known happiness for a long time happy again. There's something so deeply appealing about a character who is just that good and pure-hearted, but the fact that he is not just like a one-dimensional like ooh cinnamon bun sweet nice boy, but he's like genuinely got conflict regarding his identity. Like I think anybody who is queer and was like, I don't know, into theater or into like things that are not traditionally seen as, you know, befitting of their gender identity or of whatever their parents want them to do, sees a little bit of themselves in him and would definitely fall in love with this character. Mm-hmm. He's like the best queer representation Dragon Quest has ever had. And he's maybe the first one that's also kind of not a shitty homophobic joke. Like, there are no jokes at the expense of Sylvando's obvious queerness at all. At least that I can recall. But I feel like it would stick out if I could, because I'd remember something like that.
There might be some, like, subtle shit that's, like, not necessarily at the expense, but is kind of like, haha.
You could be misread, probably, as homophobic. But, like, I feel like I'd remember it because to me it's so notable how like I didn't see any of that at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, Sylvando, I fucking love him. He also has one of the best character themes in the game, so sorry to shout out Sugiyama, fuck Sugiyama, but he did write a good circusy theme for this man that like perfectly encapsulates his
do you think the meaning was energy. Like, why does he look like one of those queers? And then they were like, he's just a circus man.
He's a clown. He's from man. And he's like, oh, okay.
He loves women. Can't get enough of them. Promise. He loves women. On God, he loves women.
That's why he wears nail polish. Yeah. But he's wonderful. And yeah, I love how Dragon Quest at this point in its history can have a character like this and he's not just a butt of the joke. It's really wonderful. So yeah, especially because there is another character in the same chapter he's introduced who is kind of like a fey pansy, and I don't really like how that character is played out.
Yeah.
But I mean, Sylvando being there in the same chapter both lampshades it but also kind of mitigates it, because it's like, okay, so you have this character who he's not the only fey kind of queer character in the game, and especially in this chapter shows that like, okay, so it's just that this character is kind of a pansy ass coward and Sylvando is a fucking hero and like the complete opposite of him. Mm-hmm. Even though they're both kind of very flamboyant and like very much like, you know, oh honey kind of characters.
Yeah.
Also, he's got a cute Portuguese accent that's very cute, and just, it's a wonderful, wonderful dub. That game has a great fucking dub. But yeah, Sylvando, he is the big sexy. I love him. Any other good JRPG husbandos and waifus? I think we had one in mind. We mentioned her right at the outset before we started, but
Tifa,
you know, from FF7,
Tifa, obviously.
I mean, come on. Come on.
What even needs to be said? Does anyone not like Tifa? Like,
I've never met a single person who does not find Tifa hot.
Yeah, like
I've met, you know, completely heterosexual women and completely queer men, like gay men, who all look at Tifa like respectfully. Like they're just like, eye emoji whenever they see her, because
like
come on, she's fucking hot. She's fucking hot.
It's fucking Tifa.
She is confident. She has
the big punch
fighter.
She punches.
Yeah, she has the big punchings. She is,
which honestly, like looking back, I think is probably like explains a lot.
Yeah, she's flirty in a fun kind of way. Mm-hmm. But she's also kind of a, you know, girl next door character, but not in like an exceedingly horny way. And I don't feel like they ever play her relationship with Cloud as being like you know, perfunctory, like heteronormative bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, because she is often the one looking after Cloud. Cloud is such a big fucking dork in that whole game.
Cloud's such a fucking loser.
He is also sexy, by the way. But,
oh, yeah,
like,
I know, but...
I think it goes without saying, Cloud, the big sexy. That's why the whole world loves him, too. But, because he's such a loser. But, yeah, like, she is the one who is constantly looking after Cloud, even though Cloud wants to see himself as, like, the person who is looking after Tifa and making sure she's okay.
Yeah,
and being
he's trying to be the big masculine man. And she's like, but you're so bad at this.
Yeah, you don't need to, because she cares about him and wants him to be safe too, and how can he keep himself safe if he's focused on keeping her safe, which is why she's such like a
the only time
a punch mom.
The only time punch mom is like a really good way to describe Tifa.
Yeah,
the only time that she's kind of like damselized is the Nibelheim flashback. Or
but even then that's kind of almost her origin story.
Well, she was also like a fucking child, right? She's like
and she had come on, she was a cowboy. That's cool.
Yeah, she was a cowboy.
We like a cowboy hat and boots. This is good. I don't know why they couldn't keep her in that outfit, but I still like the outfit she has otherwise.
Yeah.
I hope that like in the alternate costumes function of the Final Fantasy VII remake, you can just put her in the cowboy hat.
That would be
permanently. Because I love that cowboy hat.
Even if
it's just hanging off her back
for like $1, and I'd be like, fair enough.
Yeah, I love it. $1, I'll pay for the cowboy hat because she looks cute in it. But yeah, FF7 has a lot of great female characters. Aerith, of course, is like, And if you like look at any of the interactions between Aerith and Tifa, you could easily just be like, oh, they're fucking gay for one another.
Yeah, it's
like in the immediate time they meet, they're like, we are in a poly throuple with Cloud.
Yeah. I was about to say it's like this weird polycule of Aerith, Tifa, and Cloud, and then Barrett is just screaming about like environmentalism.
Yeah, they're just like, this is great.
And Red 13 is like, hey, sorry for the almost rape, Aerith. It wasn't my fault.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Like.
The beast. Sorry for the accidental near bestiality.
Yeah, like.
But
what do you want?
But yeah, Aerith is also good for a number of reasons, and I feel stupid that like up until my most recent playthroughs of the game, I always kind of found her boring. I think it's because the first time I played the game, it was the bad translation of the game though that I played.
I'm excited
the current
to see her
version
in
that
remake.
I played, I really like.
I'm excited to see her in remake because apparently in remake they do.
Well,
like,
in
really
remake, I feel like she is totally designed for the player to fall in love with her.
Yeah,
like just.
Why would they do that?
She's
though?
such a. I don't know. Gee, I wonder why they would.
Why
do
would
that.
they make you emotionally attached to this character?
But
who's obviously
she is an
going to stick around
exceedingly
for the
likable
end of the game.
character in any version of the game. I think it's just like in remake, they really go out of their way to make her like.
I don't like her in the OG version. Having played it like 2 times now.
Here's the thing. Like I was saying, I didn't really like her up until my most recent playthrough of the game, which I was talking about it just a couple weeks ago, where I was sitting on her like her writing a little bit and like paying a lot more attention to how she's written. And I think it's just because it's conveyed solely through text and because the translation is rough.
Mm-hmm.
Even like the retranslation that I'm playing, like the Switch version is the good translation of the game. There's still like a lot lost, but I can see now a little more the sort of flirty charm and like the making fun of Cloud kind of shit that she has going on that I'm starting to be like, oh yeah. And I mean, she's a fun character. She's the one who, of course, proposes that Cloud cross-dress for that awesome chapter of the game, right? So, like,
the most iconic,
I feel like that and she's like, when she sees Cloud come out in the dress, I think she's like, I'm looking respectfully, like she's into it. And I'm like, oh, you're like a little like, I feel this character, this idea. Oh. Yeah, hello?
Sorry, yeah, you cut off until like just now.
Sorry about that.
It's all good.
But the whole like she's Cloud. When Cloud comes out in the dress, she's like, I am looking respectfully. She's into it.
Yeah, Tifa is too.
She's into it. So is Tifa, and I'm like, y'all are all very cool.
Yeah,
I'm happy
for
you.
Little polycule.
I'm happy for your little throuple.
I hope they live happily ever after. All 3 of them.
All 3 of them, and nothing bad ever happens to separate them or tear them apart. But I absolutely do love their dynamic together, and I feel like those three characters are like a big reason why people like Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah, I would have to agree. I think they carry the game.
They do. Not
Red
that I don't
13
like
too.
Barrett. I like Red 13 and I like Barrett.
Barrett.
I even like Yuffie because I find her an interesting character.
Yeah, Barrett feels kind of like Crispin Glover. Is it Crispin Glover?
Who are you talking about?
Yeah, he feels like Crispin Glover in fucking Friday the 13th, where he's kind of like in his own little world and not really like paying attention to what everyone else is doing.
I feel like that might be the fault of the translation.
Even in the remake.
Well, in remake, like from what I saw, he's a lot more funny, and he seems to interact a lot more with the other characters.
Oh no,
directly.
Not that he doesn't interact or anything, but just like he's still.
Oh, his motivation.
Like he's
stuff.
Entirely minded and like just.
Oh yeah, well he's a one-track mind. Kind of dude.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. That's more.
He is single-handedly dedicated to the cause, which I mean I can respect. Also, he is also the big sexy. Like
yeah,
he is a hot man, especially in remake. I love his design.
I mean, everyone in remake is just.
Yeah, everybody in remake looks good,
kiss.
but there's something about the way Barrett is designed in remake where I'm like, oh, you are a big sexy gentleman, and I like you.
Mm-hmm.
He has man titties for days too, which is good.
Yeah,
always a nice horny design. But I feel like another JRPG series though that has so many good like tasty character designs, despite the fact that these games are ostensibly for children, is Pokemon.
Yeah, it gets weird with Pokemon.
Yeah, especially and now first and foremost, I will put it out here. I am not talking about any of the characters that are canonically underage.
Yeah,
this is not what I mean when I say there are characters in Pokemon who are the big sexy. They are fucking children, and I'm not a freak. And at the same time, there are plenty of sexy adult characters in Pokemon that are just really hot. And I have like the Pokemon Adventures manga art book with like all the art that the artist of the manga drew of like all the gym leaders and shit. And just like seeing some of those designs like in motion and in different poses than what you're used to seeing in the game as little baby sprites or in like the anime where nobody is ever in an interesting pose until like Sun and Moon.
Yeah.
Is pretty cool. But yeah, like a character for me that immediately comes to mind is, ooh, this man is hot, is Wallace.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Dr. Fucking Aloha Man.
Oh, I mean, yes.
Yeah, that's where I thought you were immediately going. I was like, what?
I mean, if we're going to go, let's go hotness by generation. If we're going to talk Gen 1 hot characters.
Professor Oak.
You have Bruno, who I think is just like, this is a good Ryu, man. I really like his design. He is just, I am Ryu.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's good, because I like Ryu, so this is fine. Also has man titties. This is good. But also in terms of hot female characters, we have Lorelei, who is the sexy Elite Four lady with glasses with the Ice-type Pokemon. She is fucking cool. Just her design in general is like kind of business chic a little bit, but still playful. And she has those kind of ovular glasses.
Yeah.
But also the fact that she has like ice types is like says something about her personality. I feel like all of the ice type specialists in Pokemon games are weirdos. Like they're fucking very strange individuals for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, I want to know what Lorelei's deal is. There's like a whole subplot in Fire Red and Leaf Green in the post game where you like help her out on her home island, fight off like some Team Rocket guys. And I don't know, I just get the idea that she's this like sexy business lady, but she lives in like on a fucking tiny island far away from the region where she's an Elite Four member in. And she like lives in like a little house, presumably by herself. And I'm just like, I want to know what her deal is. She's very interesting. You know? Mm-hmm. What is the internal life of Lorelei? So Lorelei, she is also the big sexy. Most of the other characters in the game are like, they're okay. Lieutenant Surge is hot, but he's like a fucking bootlicker.
Yeah.
And you know, I don't go for the military man as much as I go for a hot military woman. I just feel like when I look at him, I'm just like, damn, you're gonna go home and abuse your wife, bro.
Yeah,
like,
please don't do it.
Please. So I don't know. I just don't find him that hot. He's not brave. He's not my troop. But there's some good characters in Gen 2 as well.
God, what was Chuck? We talked about it like off podcast once, I think. I don't remember who or what gen.
Is it Piers?
No.
Gen 8?
Well, Piers too.
No, but Piers.
Yeah,
Piers, we are looking respectfully.
Yes.
Yes.
Someone I follow, Buttons. What's his name? God, I forget his. It's like HB Zana something on Twitter or something. Just constantly like retweets Pierce fan art, and I'm like, good.
Oh,
good for you.
Yeah, he is. I mean, Pierce is a character designed expressly for people like us who are just like, sometimes all you want's a dirty hot metalhead guy.
Yeah, here's your emo boyfriend.
Yeah, he's fucking. There's something about him that's sexy. I just love his design. There's like the in Gen 2 there's Chuck, who I like because he's got a belly. He's got like, what if Kevin Smith was a martial artist kind of vibes.
Like Kevin Smith.
I'm sorry. I find him hot. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Well, especially young Kevin Smith. But no, there's something about like beardy guy with a pot belly who is just like, I don't know. But Chuck is also like a fighter.
Yeah. And
like Bruno, he's got just like a good fighting man design. But he's like, he doesn't give me Ryu vibes. He gives me more like, I don't know, more like Dan vibes. Because he seems like a funny little man, like the kind of guy who could be stoic in meditation but will make funny joke, you know?
Mm-hmm.
He looks like he can get it. But yeah, then you have Claire in Blackthorn City, who is literally like dressed like a fucking dominatrix with a cape. And I love her.
Was it her?
Everything about her design is great. She's the dragon type gym leader at the end of of Gold and Silver. And she's the one who like,
no, it's not her.
Literally looks like a fucking dominatrix.
Yeah.
I love that design. And there's something about her that is just
It's the
there's also Morty. There's Morty in that thing too. I don't know how old Morty is supposed to be. I always got the vibe that he's like 20 or 23 or something like that.
Well, it's kind of like Sonya in the new one where you're like,
yeah, I don't know how old that character is. Yeah. Although I definitely feel like Nessa is of age because she's a professional model.
Yeah.
And I also, looking respectfully at Nessa, beautiful design. It's nice to see that like in the recent games in particular, there's always a significant more number of characters that aren't white in Pokemon. Or like they're not light skinned. And Nessa, I think, is one of their best like dark skinned character designs.
Yeah, Bea too.
Like, she's so cool. Yeah, Bea as well. She's got a great design.
I hate how they make you choose.
Yeah, between her and Alistair,
Nessa,
the little funny ghost boy.
Oh, was it that?
I like him. No, it wasn't Nessa and Bea.
Oh, I thought it was Nessa and Bea.
It was Bea and Alistair. But I like Alistair too because he's got a really cool little design.
Yeah, he's got the little mask.
He looks like a little shy guy. It's cute.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really, really like a lot of the expressly non-white and near dark skinned character designs in the games recently. Yeah,
Thank you, Alola region.
Alola straight up has some great fucking characters. Alola has Nanu, the old fucking cop who is done with this shit. And I know it's 2021. We should not be simping for cops. I know, and I tell this to my partner all the time because, like, 3 of his favorite fictional characters are cops or outright cop coded. And he will thirst after them, and we will be like, haha, you are the cop man who is horny.
Chie is my favorite, so, like, you know.
There you go, right? But there is something to be said about Nanu just being like, I like his vibe, you know, he's like, I'm the old cop, but I also, like, he's like a old silver-haired gent who, he's like walking around in his flip-flops and track pants with his like fucking open
he looks
Hawaiian
like a fucking
shirt,
actor.
you know? Open Alolan shirt? I guess Alolan shirt. But like walking around, he's got like a dark type Pokemon
Yeah,
I think
he looks
he's
like
just
an
got
actor.
a vibe to him, you know? There's something about Nanu. And I like also in that game, of course, our resident Pokemon professor, who is just, once again, a big sexy man. He's also a pro wrestler, which is hot, you know?
Yeah.
Like, that's also very, very good. And we need more Pokemon characters who are modeled after pro wrestlers. Also, like, Wake in Gen 4. The water type guy who's like a pro wrestler.
I think I missed Gen 4.
He's cool. But yeah, there's just like a lot of very attractive characters in Pokemon. It's nice. Oop, did I cut out?
Nope. We're good.
Hello? Oh, hey,
oh my
Ben,
god, Jesus Christ.
You were muted.
Yeah, I was muted. I don't know how long that was.
Oh.
That
was
weird.
super funny.
I don't know how that happened.
Oh, well, it's fine.
Whatever.
Did your mic unplug maybe by accident?
No. I was like straight up muted on Discord.
Oh, okay.
So I think
I was wondering why I couldn't hear you.
Yeah, I think I was talking to you, and it was like.
But I think you can agree that there are Pokemon characters who are just the big sexy.
Yes, 100%.
Now. And yeah.
When the fuck did that happen? It's so weird.
We do love these characters. We do love their designs, and like a lot of Pokemon characters are, not to say that they're paper thin, but they're not terribly complex. So a good design goes a long way into making them memorable.
Mm-hmm.
And especially some of those like gym leader characters and boss characters like that, where it's like the most you get out of a lot of them is like a quip. So it's nice to just get like, I don't know, a character who looks really, really, I don't know, specific and distinct so that it sticks in your mind, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, also Professor Kukui's wife, Professor Brunette, she is also hot, and it's like, I'm happy these two hot people found each other, you know? But Kukui is really cool. I think his design's great. I love when he's dressed like a wrestler. We also like Guzma. Guzma is sexy.
Yeah. He's
sexy because he's stupid. And sometimes we just like a himbo, right? I think we can all agree with that. A himbo is a himbo. And we certainly think that that Guzma is like the king himbo of those games.
Yeah.
Literally just like
keeps the doctor
a dumb
away.
man. He's just such a dumb man. He's just always walking up like it's your boy Guzma. He's fucking hot. He's stupid. I like that he's dumb. He has bug type Pokemon. That's cool. You know? But another one that I wanted to say is Wallace from Gen 3. He's the water type gym leader. Firstly, like, you look at him and you're like, haha, gay. This is a gay man. You know, like, he looks like a homosexual TM.
No.
But he is a good-looking gentleman.
He's not.
I like that he's...
There's nothing gay about this man.
I like that he's an artist. Like, he's one of the few Pokemon characters I can think of who's, like, a visual artist. Mm-hmm. Him and Mina, I think, from Sun and Moon are, like, the only two that are distinctly portrayed this way. But yeah, he's like a visual artist, and he's a painter, and he likes to wear that outfit in not Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, sorry, in Alpha Sapphire and Omega Ruby that shows off his belly button. And I'm just like, hey, crop top king, we approve. You know, this is a crop top positive podcast.
Yeah, by
all means. So yeah, we look at Wallace and we're like, oh, he is the big sexy. There's another character in Gen 3 that I think is hot too, and that's Sydney. He's like the dark type Elite Four guy. I hate to say it, he kind of looks like he would be racist because he's got a very hateful haircut that looks kind of like a haircut I would see a neo-Nazi have. Sydney. He's the first Elite Four in Ruby and Sapphire. He has dark type Pokemon. But he's also, like, I remember in the manga, he was in, like, a punk band. And he was the lead singer and guitar player.
Mm.
And I just found that kind of cool. I don't know. I'm just, like, he was, like, the first Pokemon character who was a musician. It was, like, before they did Roxy, who is also cool, but not a waifu because she is a child. And that would be really gross. But she's a cool character, and I will protect her with my life. Gen 5 also has Drayden. Do you remember Drayden or know of him?
No.
He was the dragon type gym leader who just is buff, man. He's like the mayor of the city.
Well, he looks kind of...
He's a gym leader
He looks kind of neo-Nazi coded.
Who, Sydney?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm like, I hate to say it. He's racist.
No,
Drayden.
Racist,
but he's also...
Drayden.
Oh, Drayden?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think Drayden is neo-Nazi coded at all. He's literally supposed to be like an old mayor from like an old town.
But look at his facial hair and his haircut.
He's supposed to look like a dragon's haircut.
Yeah.
He's supposed to look like he has dragon fangs.
It looks like he might.
I don't know. I like him. He's an older man with a white beard. He can get it. Him and also a resident older hot man in Pokemon, Kabu from Gen 8, who's like the soccer player from Hoenn, he basically has like a soccer player aesthetic.
Kabu is a Pokemon.
No, Kabuto is a Pokemon.
Wait, what?
Kabu.
How do you spell Kabu?
Kabu. Kabu.
Oh, Kabu.
Yeah, he is the fire-type gym leader in Gen 8.
Oh, that man is too old.
I don't think so. I think he is like, I think he's supposed to be somewhere in his 60s. Maybe that one drawing of him is good. There's like one of him when he's younger. I think he is cute. He's just like he has the aesthetic of an attractive Japanese soccer player.
Hold on.
Here he is.
I'm gonna send you the picture I just found because it's funny.
Oh, he's so good. I know. I am looking respectfully at Kabu. I don't care if you think he's too old. He is sexy. Yeah, me. That's how this is me. How I see him.
That's fair.
Just for those who are not watching what we are posting to each other in our chat, it is a picture of Kabu's head photoshopped over like a buff man with like an 8-pack body. But I don't know, I just find him hot. He's cool. He's also, like I said, he's from Hoenn. He's also the only gym leader in Galar to have his name be the same in English as his Japanese name.
Mm-hmm.
Because it comes from like turnip and fire, like Ka is fire. So he is basically like fire turnip, which is very cute. But also, yeah, he's the guy from Hoenn who, like a foreign athlete who went over and became a big star in another country. That's kind of a cool idea for a trainer like that, especially with the aesthetic of Galar being like the gym leaders built around kind of a sports league aesthetic.
Mm-hmm.
Like it works. Like of course, sports leagues in all other countries have like, like stars who come from overseas but like dominate over here and are really popular. Like, I'm trying to think of a good example of this. But you know what I mean. I'm sure there are plenty that you can... okay, like Didier Drogba here in Montreal, who plays for the Montreal Impact. Didier Drogba, he's like a Montreal soccer player, but he is like a guy who was big way over where he's from, but is also big over here. He's cool. He's like one of our best soccer players here. I don't know anything about soccer, by the way. I just some athletes are hot, and you look respectfully at them.
Fair enough.
Yes,
call it?
I guess we can call it a cast on this, but we can definitely come back to this another day.
Oh yeah,
because there are plenty of
a shortage of content.
Many sexy people in videos game to talk about, and I feel like we could do one next time just about characters who are kind of queer-coded or non-binary, because there are plenty of characters in games who are expressly depicted as non-binary or gender non-conforming.
I can't wait to talk about Rohan. my greatest inspiration.
How could you not? He is fucking beautiful. But there's plenty to talk about in this category, so we'll come back to it eventually. But until then, thank you guys for listening. This has been the GamePunx bonus round episode 16. My name is Ryan. You can find me all over the internet at Nouveau Art Punk. That's all one word, usually lowercase, sometimes not. I am on Letterboxd. I am on Twitter. I am on Instagram. If you want to read my reviews on Letterboxd, they're there for you. Otherwise, I don't do much else, but you can follow me for the funnies on social media and also the politics, the two things that I post the most about. What about you, Ben? Where can people find you?
I'm Scratch Me Silly everywhere. Twitter, YouTube, Instagram. I think you can find me on Facebook for Scratch Me Silly too. So
Oh, well, there we go.
Yeah, I stream on the Twitch and I upload stuff on YouTube.
The videos, game, and clips and Twitch archives.
Yeah, some of it is some of it has work put into it, and some of it is just shit posts. Same goes for my Twitter. Yeah, and Facebook I'm basically like inactive on. I just kind of message people, but not really.
I keep it expressly for Messenger, and that is it.
Yeah, and even then I'm like, I still don't use this like as much as
most of the people I message are on Discord now.
Yeah, it's weird. But yeah, that's what it do. That's how it goes.
So thank you guys for listening to our very belated Valentine's Day episode. Happy St. Patrick's Day, even though by the time this comes out it'll be a day late.
Don't forget to get your Guinness and potatoes.
Yeah, I mean, I literally ate corned beef, cabbage, and potatoes for dinner, and had a tall boy of harp, and it was a very good Irish dinner.
Yeah.
Very filling.
Having tasted other stouts now and going back to Guinness, oof.
Guinness is the best when it's the Guinness that is made in Ireland.
Yeah,
there's something about the water they use there to brew it.
Probably.
But not that Guinness here is bad, but there are better stouts.
There are way better stouts than Guinness.
I mean, Murphy's, for instance, is better than Guinness.
Yeah, any stout.
Any microbrewery, if they do an imperial stout, give that a drink.
Oh yeah, imperial stouts are god tier.
It's full-bodied, kind of chocolatey, usually very filling, like a meal in a fucking glass, basically.
You're drinking rye bread.
Yeah, they're so good. But yeah, I know. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Thank you guys for listening. We'll be back next week, of course, as we usually are, with another wonderful episode of regular vanilla GamePunx. But until then, have yourselves a nice week. Stay safe out there. Show some solidarity with your Asian brothers and sisters who are experiencing a really horrible time right now, and there's just been a huge uptick in both Canada, the United States, and other countries in the West of anti-Asian attacks. So please, if you can share resources and show a bit of solidarity, I'm sure it would be greatly appreciated.
Yes.
Have yourselves a nice evening, and thank you very much for listening.
Join us next time when we talk about the hottest Sonic the Hedgehog character.
No!
Go to horny jail.